A506. All done, man. Had to do a little bit more work on this than I anticipated. And this is the second time this has happened, but now I actually finally know why. Kind of working backwards here, but this cap right here had devalued down to 19 picofarad. This cap was right here. Reason why, about 7-8 years ago, whenever I built this amp, the transistor holes in this board were a little tight. You'll find that happen a lot now these days. You know, I go in there and widen them out just a little bit before I put transistors down. But this transistor right here was not sitting against the heat sink completely flat like it should have been. So that had caused a lot of heat to be building up right here, and has also caused some issues with this cap right here getting a little bit too hot, because that's the second time that I've had to replace these caps right here. So this 4-pill section has always ran a little hotter than the other one. Well, now that I have replaced that transistor down there, so you know, it's a good thing that this top did fall off, bud. It was literally something was looking out for you for that top to fall off, because if that top didn't fall off, this would have went back to you, and it would have been back over here at some point in time in the near future, because of this cap popping off, cap devaluing, getting so hot, just working so hard, it's devaluing. So I went ahead and put your two brand new output loading capacitors, or tuning capacitors, however you want to call them. These are those $5 orange dip 3,000 volt caps. $5 a piece from Fat Boy Amps himself. I went ahead and cleaned this board like you wanted me to do. I actually sprayed this board down with polyurethane when I first built it. So I went through there and cleaned the whole board for you, man. It took me about damn an hour and a half or so. And while I was at it, I went in and decided to leave this end hooked up. Okay, this right here, your output is tuned. Do not move this. Do not go back here and move this. Your output is tuned. Alright, so these are just sharing with each other. So I tuned it out right here with this, and I backed it back just a little bit, and then fine tuned it with this right here. Another thing I went ahead and did is I took this trimmer out on the input, because I never leave trimmers in anymore. First I retuned the input just to make sure it was tuned the best as it could be, and then I went ahead and mic'd that in. So these are your input tuning capacitors right there. Another thing I went ahead and did is I went through here and resoldered a couple of spots that I didn't like. I went ahead and flowed solder on the whole hot bus. Flow solder on the output combining strips where there was copper still showing. So that was back then when I didn't. I mean, this was literally one of the first amps I ever built. I built like 5 back to back within like a week or two time. So we put your 2 brand new fans on here, okay? And this switch right here, middle is off. That's high. That's low. Okay, so that's your fan speeds. And the fan will come on. If you got it on high, the fans will come on when you turn the main switch on. Okay. Let's see, what else did I do in here? Let's see, I cleaned it up real good for you. I fixed a couple of spots that look like cold solder joints to me. One more thing I think I'm going to do, which you probably won't even use since you're running this as a mobile, is run a ground wire from this remote port down to the board, just in case you ever run a wireless remote, just to It's good to have a ground wire from here going down to the board, just in case this right here is not making a good contact. So these fans are definitely blowing a lot more air than the ones that were on there are doing. Now, next thing, since I have got into my new work area here, my 220 wire is not long enough to plug it into my 220 line. Okay, and I don't really have time to try to, I might have to go buy some materials to create me a jumper pretty much to lengthen my 220. I'm going to run this 8 pil on my 100 amp supply, okay? So it's going to get to the point to where we're going to be sucking it down to its maximum. We're probably not going to be able to get anywhere near full output out of this. But she's still working good, man, especially to be 8 years old and be my first build. And of course, that's your new switch right there. Alright, just hitting it with the bench radio. Without a driver, she was already doing about 500 peak and about 50 bird. Okay, I've got the 1 pil driver hooked up. Alright, got the 8 pil and the 100 amp unregulated supply. And we are running the bench radio now, okay? Go ahead and turn the 8 pil on. 1000 watt slug. Do 400 bird. About 100 watt dead key. Do 400 bird. PEP. Do over 1000 watts. And that is dropping to about 15.5 volts. Alright. So now what I'm going to do, I don't think I'm going to be able to hook my 1446 2 pil up. We'll see how it reacts once I hook the hot radio up on this 1 pil. So I'm going to switch over to my Stickman Cobra 29 and we'll see how much bird we gain out of that. And I may try to hook up the 1446 2 pil just so you can see what this bad boy's doing. I know you hadn't been able to really see this thing on the meter yet, so I'll go ahead and show you all little stages of driving so you can see what she's doing. By the way, this driver right now is driving about 100 watts PEP and about 25 to 30 bird in it now. Alright, we'll be right back. Let me hook up the hot radio. Alright, man, looks like I will hook up the 1446 2 pil. We're getting lucky, and I'm getting lucky a little bit too, since this is just running on the 100 amp power supply. So driving 8 watts RMS to the driver, we are now getting almost 600 bird. This thing wants some more drive. And the voltage is dropping down to about 14 volts, but I'm going to go ahead and hook up the 1446 2 pil. Now, like I said, keep in mind, this thing needs a lot more amperage, so it's not going to be doing what it could be doing if I could keep that at 15 volts, or I know you're going to be running at 12 volts. You run on batteries, so if I could turn that to 12 volts, I would. But anyway, we'll go ahead and hook it up. But like I said, I just don't have enough amperage, so we'll just see what it'll do. And hopefully, I won't suck that 100 amp supply so hard that it falls down on its booty to about 9 volts. All right, let me go get the 2 pil. We'll hook it up. Be right back. All right, buddy, that's not going to work. It is dropping the supply down to about 10.2 volts. Okay, so I'm just going to hit it with my bench radio so you can see the peak wattage. Okay, and this is sucking the supply down to about 13 volts right here. Alright, 2500 watt slug. I know you want to see the peak wattage. 2500 watt slug, we are looking at the top scale. Where you see the 10, that's 1,000. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. That is about 1750. Oh, about 1750. Well, there you go, man. So you shouldn't have no problem getting at least 1,500 watts out of this bad boy. Mr. 506, I appreciate you hanging in there with me, buddy. And if anybody is watching this video, which they probably won't be, because this is, I won't say embarrassing, but if you take a look at this and take a look at the builds I do now, you can tell this is one of my very first builds. I literally built a 1-pill that didn't work. That's the 1-pill that you see me using now. 2-pill it didn't work. 3-pill it didn't work. Now keep in mind, I built it, it didn't work. I didn't try to make it work because I didn't know what to do to make it work. So I just put it to the side and started building a 2-pill. It didn't work, went to 3-pill. It didn't work, built the 4-pill. It did work. Skipped the 5-pill. Built the 6-pill. It didn't work. Then I built this 8-pill. This was probably in the matter of a week or two. And the 8-pill, honestly, I didn't have a power supply big enough to test it, so I just built it and sent it off to someone to see if it was working, and if it wasn't, let me know what I did wrong or this and that. And then when I got it back, I think I made a trade for it over to Mr. 999, and I think I got it back from him, and I actually put it into a bass amplifier, 2 driving 8 bass amplifiers. One of the first videos you'll see on my YouTube channel. It's all blue fans. I just went out the yin yang. It was all messy and nasty looking, but it was a 1446 2-pill and separate separate board, and then this, and 4 big 50 amp transformers, iron cores. And I shipped it out. It got damaged real bad, so I got it back. Got the insurance money. Got the insurance money to the guy that bought the amp from me, and then put it back into a mobile box. And then at that point, I sold it to a local. And what was his name? I can't remember his name right off the top of my head now. Anyway, I sold it to a local, and then this local sold it to my buddy 506. If I remember, that's how the whole circle has run around with this. And I think 506, you ran this thing for about a year or two, maybe longer. Got a lot of enjoyment out of it, and then I think the switch went bad on it or something went wrong on it, and you dropped it off here, and it's been sitting here for a while till I was able to get to it, and now we got it back up and running. So you got you a used but matching transistor, 2 new fans. And by the way, let me pop the top on that, put some screws in it, and well, actually I'm gonna pop the top on it, hook it up to the unregulated supply over here. I mean the regulated supply, excuse me, and let you see the fans working and all that. I'm gonna put a new switch on here, fans, high-low switch for the fans, 2 new output tuning capacitors, loading capacitors, whatever you want to call it, 150s matched. Fix some solder joints. Went around and cleaned this board too really well with some acetone, and weirdly enough, that acetone's not even eating up that polyurethane, which is pretty unique. Fixed a couple of solder joints that didn't look too good to me. Reflowed some solder, retuned, and now she's back up and going. I also cleaned your box for you too, bud. I wiped down the top, the bottom, and got it cleaned up. So I'm gonna get the top on here. I'll be right back. Alright, man. Boy, these fans are pushing some air, man. The only reason these fans can't fit inside the case is because the big combiner in there and the tuner right here on the back. Check this out. That is some air, buddy. There's your low. And that is a good quiet speed. And there's absolutely no reason really you should be running it with it off. But I do give you the option. But like I said, there's absolutely no reason why you should be doing that. You always need to leave the fans at least on low or high. I was going to put you a fan even more powerful than this on there, but once I got to looking at my resistors and stuff, I thought it'd be best just to put these on there. So, alright, man. I'll put the rest of the screws in here and get this put to the side for you to pick up. Appreciate you, 506. We'll see you. Bye-bye.